What is up, guys? Rick Kakis here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and today we've got some brand spankin' new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, unveiling official information. And so, let's get started. Now, first things first, the brand new activity Festival of the Lost 2020 has launched this week, and it's been met by a fair bit of controversy, mainly because the main resource that you use to get the featured weapons, the Horror Story and the Braytech Werewolf Auto Rifle, that resource being cipher decoders, is extremely hard to get and farm for, and it's very discouraging when you do like 5 strikes and get maybe one cipher decoder. However, only today, Bungie Help tweeted out this, that the drop rates have been raised across the board, and from what I'm hearing, it sounds like completing an activity, something like a nightmare hunt, has now approximately like a 50% chance to get one. So you get one, then you don't get one, then you get one, then you don't get one, which is certainly better than going 5 times, 6 times in a row, getting nothing. So if you haven't been farming because you got discouraged, this is a great time to hop back in and test out those new drop rates and get those auto rifles. But the other big thing to happen this week was that Bungie released a brand new trailer for Beyond Light, the weapons and gear trailer, showcasing 10 exotics in total, 4 weapons, and 6 armor pieces. Now, I've done a video breaking all of that down, not just the trailer, but also the website information. If you just watched the trailer, I guarantee you're gonna learn so much more by checking out that video, so do so if you haven't. But moving on from there, the next thing that Bungie talked about was one of the areas arriving to Destiny 2 within the Beyond Light expansion, and that is the Cosmodrome. That's right, we're not just getting Europa. People often forget we're also getting the Cosmodrome. Now, this was in Destiny 1, but if you start in Destiny 2, this is a brand new area, and you're going to see some screenshots that Bungie released today of this area within the background. So if you are a D1 vet, you'll feel right at home. And this area is being used for new players. Right now, if you're a brand new player, you start the game, you're kind of thrown into the tower and it's very confusing. But now you're going to have a more definitive new player experience where you're revived in the Cosmodrome. Now there's going to be this guy. Instead of stumbling upon a ship, you're going to stumble upon a guardian called Shah Han, and he's going to like show you the ropes as to being a guardian, talk about the UI system, just general new player stuff. And Bungie does say you can still go here, you can still do this quest if you're an old school player, just to, take a trip down memory lane again. And there's also some new features within the Cosmodrome. For example, Bungie mentions that there are going to be at least one lost sector within the Cosmodrome, and of course, lost sectors were new to Destiny 2, so that'll be a new piece of content there. And who knows what other secrets may lie here. Of course, the Kvostov and the exotic Kvostov are very closely tied to the Cosmodrome. Is that one of the secrets arriving in Beyond Light? We're gonna have to wait and see. But continuing on from there, one of the biggest things, and certainly the most impactful thing that was unveiled today, is how mods are changing with Beyond Light. And these are some big changes. Right off the bat, energy restrictions for weapon mods are being removed. So hand cannon mods like hand cannon loader, etc. Right now, that can be only used on void armor. But with Beyond Light, now hand cannon mods and other weapon type mods are going to be universal. Wow, so the element of your armor is not necessarily going to matter as much when it comes to what weapons you're going to utilize. You can put those grenade launcher loaders on arc armor now, etc. You're now going to be much more focused on those seasonal mods, which they themselves are getting changed. We'll talk about that soon. But as a result of these changes, The arc charged with light mods that require a second like arc perk to activate. So quick charge is a great example. So those are being changed so that if you have another arc mod equipped on the same armor piece, it'll activate. Or if you have any other arc charged with light mod socketed to any other armor piece, the second tier perks will also be activated. Because obviously you can't get that arc requirement from putting on Shotgun Scavenger, for example, anymore. Next up, another huge one. Enhanced mods are going away. There is going to be no more enhanced hand cannon loader. No more enhanced sniper rifle targeting. Instead, they're all being changed to one definitive mod. So it's just going to be hand cannon loader. But don't worry, you're not necessarily getting weaker. Bungie says that the base level mods, so like base level hand cannon loader, is being buffed to basically match enhanced hand cannon loader, because one of the pieces of feedback they kept getting is that the normal mods, they didn't feel like they did anything and you had to go after those enhanced mods. So as a result of this buff across the board, so that base version matches the enhanced version, obviously they got rid of the enhanced version, and also the energy requirements have all increased on these base level mods because they're more powerful now, but Bungie says those energy requirements don't necessarily match the enhanced versions. So basically, you could also look at this as all enhanced mods getting 1 energy cheaper, which is actually pretty darn interesting. But as a result of this, they've moved some of the mods around for more competition. For example, the fast ready mods are moved to the arms socket now. Wow, so that's another big change, but we've got another one. So this has to do with raid mods. So Bungie says starting in Season 12, so with Beyond Light, The Last Wish, Garden of Salvation, and the new Beyond Light raid, armors will now drop a 5th dedicated armor mod socket that is exclusively for the mods related to that raid. And Last Wish and Garden of Salvation armor acquired prior to next season will not have this dedicated armor socket, but will still be available to use the mods related to that raid in the new Legacy armor mod socket. So you can potentially refarm armor. Now this 5th mod socket for raid armor is a great idea because you have, especially with Garden of Salvation, you have mods there that, increase your damage if you're standing near, I forget what it's called, like a pillar, a certain specific pillar that's only in that raid. So obviously you need to put on a bunch of those when you're doing the raid and then take them all off again as soon as you're doing any other activity. So having a mod slot specific to those very unique raid perks is just awesome. It adds a great degree of user friendliness and it makes that raid armor more desirable. But as a result of this, so the anti-Taken mods, so that's Taken Barrier, Taken Armaments, all that stuff, from Last Wish will now only function in the Last Wish raid. Also, anti-Hive mods from Leviathan are being depreciated, and the anti-Fallen mods from Scourge of the Past are being depreciated. So, no more Taken Armaments outside of Last Wish. If you're in Last Wish, you can still use it. No more Hive armaments, no more Fallen armaments, and of course, as a PvE player, that is huge news. Like, that is going to change pretty much everything. Those were arguably the most valuable mods in the entire game. Now they're going away. This will certainly make playing next year's content quite a bit more difficult from a PvE perspective, especially endgame stuff, because people relied on those armaments mods so much to get heavy. So if you don't have them or you're still grinding for them, you don't need them anymore. Moving on from there, the next thing Bungie talks about is combat mods. So all armor released in Beyond Light and Season 12, all Last Wish and Garden of Salvation armor acquired starting in Season 12, and all Armor 2.0 exotic pieces, including those already possessed by players, will have a combat style mod socket. So in Season 12, this socket will accept all Charge with Light and Warmind Cell mods. That is fantastic. So a unified mod slot that takes stuff from basically all of this past year, and exotics can get that. So you can put Warmind mods onto an exotic armor piece. That is actually pretty huge. Like, that would always be the odd man out. If you're trying to make a Warmind Cell build, a Charge with Light build, and you wanted to use an exotic armor piece, you'd basically be one less perk when it comes to those builds, but not anymore. And again, that's retroactive for exotics, so that is huge. But another change is that all Armor 2.0 acquired during seasons 8 to 11, so Shadowkeep to right now, Season of Arrivals, have had their seasonal mod sockets replaced with a single unified legacy mod socket that can socket all Charge with Light mods, Warmind Cell mods, Nightmare Hunt mods, Garden of Salvation mods, and Last Wish mods. So it's just like one unified thing. And again, that's another huge change. I can't even express how many vault slots and inventory slots are taken up by armor that just spreads the gambit from all these different seasons because I want access to all these different mods. You know, I need something from Scourge of the Past so I can have Fallen Armaments. I need specifically, Void stuff from Warmind so I can equip the Void Warmind Cell mod, all this stuff. But now, essentially, you can do a lot of cleaning out of your vault and inventory because you can just have a few pieces and they're going to be updated with that legacy mod slot, and you don't have to be elemental specific because the weapon mods can be used on any elemental armor piece. So this is actually great news for just cleaning up your inventory and just making things easier all around, honestly. And so guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, found this informative, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.